Hello everyone, I'm Giuseppe Nella from Simulation Daily, and today we are trying the PS5 version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The embargo has been lifted, so we can finally show you what it looks like, and more importantly, how it flies. For our first test, we are at a small airfield north of Tokyo, and we're doing a small flight around the Bay of Tokyo to land at Haneda Airport. We chose this location because it's the latest and greatest photogrammetry added to the simulator. So not only is it beautiful, but it's also quite challenging in terms of hardware. We'll actually test PCs pretty heavily, so it's a good test for the PS5 as well. We'll see how it does. So we can get this party started. Start by removing the engine covers, the static port covers, pitot covers. You need to remove these because otherwise you're gonna be in trouble. You can also interact the plane to do your pre-flight check the aileron, and all the other control surfaces working correctly, checking the condition on various parts. This is something a real pilot would do before every flight. We're not going to waste too much time with it because we know it works. So I'm just going to get inside the airplane, but before we get inside, remove the chocks. Otherwise, it's not gonna move. Let's get inside. The airplane is cold and dark, which means that we need to do the startup procedure. On a Cessna 172 like this, it's pretty easy. Put the fuel selector to both. The fuel valve is open. Turn on arm the standby battery. And turn on the battery master switches. We're going to assume that the engine is cold. So we're going to turn on the fuel pump and prime the engine a little bit with a bit of mixture. Then back. Turn off the fuel pump. Turn on the beacon light. Advance the throttle a bit. Ignition on. Advance the mixture. And the engine's on. Like magic. Well, it's not really magic, to be fair. Okay. Now, we turn on the avionics. Navigation and strobe lights. Lower the flaps 1 degree. For takeoff. And degree, sorry. Oop. There you go. And turn on the screen. Okay. It's winter, so the pitot is probably useful. Taxi light and landing lights, since we are going to taxi to the runway. We have no warnings, which means we're ready to go. I just check the autopilot for a moment. Okay. Everything works. So we can tell ATC that we are going to taxi.
Romeo Juliet Tango, 1 traffic. Cessna Juliet Alpha, tree 29er Echo, is taxiing to runway 15. Romeo Juliet Tango 1.
Disengage the parking brake. And let's go. Slowly and carefully. because we're in a small dirt runway. There is no asphalt here. We can very well cartwheel if you catch a hole or something. It can happen in the simulator. The surface is simulated. Surface of the ground, you can see that I'm bumping quite a bit. So you should be careful not to go too fast on this kind of surface. Shouldn't be go too fast on an asphalt as well when you're just taxiing around, but it's doubly important on this kind of surface. Also should be careful to touch the brake too hard. Okay, let's line up with the runway. Get centered. There we go. Stop.
Romeo Juliet Tango 1 traffic. Cessna Juliet Alpha, tree 29er Echo. Taking off runway 15. North departure, Romeo Juliet Tango 1.
Advance the throttle. Use the rudder to keep yourself nice and centered in the middle of the runway. Don't swear at sides, that's bad, of course. And when we rotate speed, we can lift off gently. Okay. Pull up the flaps.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Let the plane gain some speed. Already activate the autopilot. Going to be by default in roll and pitch mode. We're going to activate altitude mode. Put it at 3,000 feet since we're doing a VFR flight, so we're staying quite low. And then go and flight level change. Command it to climb at 100 knots and insert navigation mode. So it's going to follow this magenta line, which is the GPS mode. Used to be a lot more challenging, as you can imagine. But nowadays we're all child of the magenta line. We can turn off the taxi light and landing lights.
Squawk 6224, Cessna 29er Echo.
Cessna 29er Echo, radar contact 3 miles, north of Romeo Juliet Zulu Tree Golf, 1000.
It's performing really well and the graphics are nice. I have to say, this is impressive for a console. It's going at 4K. Quite fluid, I would say. Of course, the overall level of detail is not as high as a PC, but the resolution is good. Frame rate is holding. If you don't know how to pilot your plane, you can start by checking out checklists. It will tell you everything you need to do. You also can click on the little eye to show you which controls you need to look at. So it's pretty advanced on this. It doesn't have like a paper manual anymore. Those unfortunately are a thing of the past. But this checklist is a good guide for you to follow, say. By the way, we need to set the altimeter. She's at 2994. The tooltip is in front of it. Ah. There you go. Oh, I can do still. Ah, it's the one. Sorry. My bad. Actually, this one. I haven't flown a Cessna in quite a while. Of course, there is plenty of external views you can enjoy.
29er Echo contact Tokyo approach on 126.0. Good day.
126.0 for Cessna, 29er Echo.
I'm being handed off to the next controller, and I've reached my destination altitude. This has a Garmin G1000, which is a pretty advanced avionics suit. So I need to tune to Tokyo approach and contact them.
Tokyo approach, Cessna Juliet
So they will follow me.
29er Echo, 3000.
Cessna Juliet Alpha Tree 29er Echo. Tokyo approach. Altimeter 299er tree. Radar contact. Continue.
We're staying under the clouds, so we can see the terrain the whole time. Being a VFR flight, we are navigating by looking at the terrain. Well, actually, our GPS is navigating for us, but we're supposed to be able to see the terrain at all time. Of course, there is plenty of nice views to enjoy. You're not stuck into the cockpit. By the way, you may have noticed that I'm using a mouse and keyboard. Just used to it, but you can do this without a problem with a controller if you're more used to a controller. I'm also using a Trustmaster flight stick, which is literally the only one that's available for the simulator for now. Finally, it was a hand-me-down from the PS4 era, because they never made a PS5 flight sticks, but this one luckily still works. It's not like the most advanced flight controller you will find. There are many more advanced ones for PC, but it does the job. It has all you need. Rudder controls, throttle. Throttle is a little floppy, but for my taste, but that's what you have. You can't use the PC only controllers on these, unfortunately. But I have to say, graphics for a console version, they're phenomenal. And this is running at 4K. Just so you know, to keep performance good, on my PC, I run at 1440p, and I have a very good gaming PC with a 4080 RTX 4080 video card. So it's not like it's a wimp. But look at this. I'm impressed. It looks good. It performs well. I have to say, this is impressive. More impressive than I expected. I'm going a little fast here because I don't want the flight to last a million years. Normally you cruise a little bit slower, but I loaded plenty of fuel. You can also play a little bit with the camera if you want. Showcase camera, it lets you use it takes away control of the airplane from you, but since we are in autopilot, it's not a problem. And you can freely look at your aircraft and the surroundings. I mean, look at this. It looks fantastic. I'm speechless. And if you're wondering, I haven't seen this before. I'm discovering it with you. Of course, again, it's not as good as the PC version, and I mean PC version at ultra settings. But it's pretty close. The draw distance is quite far. That's one of the things that is not as much as the PC version. You can see where we're already in the photogrammetry area of Tokyo, of the Tokyo Metropolitan Area, which is massive. But you can see where it stops down there. It's still quite far. By the way, this is all streamed from the internet. I have not installed anything extra, because I wanted to check how that worked as well. We can already see Skytree down in the distance. You can see it down there. This is impressive. The photogrammetry is maybe a little bit less detailed than on PC, but it still does its duty. Go back inside. All the circuit breakers work. Like, if I want to deactivate if I pull the circuit breaker of the autopilot's gone. The Cessna 172 is pretty advanced, so let's put it back in though. Let's reactivate it. brings me back where I was. Let's follow the river. I'm going to fly over the Chiba area. So we're going to basically circumnavigate Tokyo to the north, then go back over the city, and then turn around and head to Haneda Airport. As you can see there, it's the graphics have nothing bad to say about them. Following the autopilot with a path without many problems. See a little bit of clouds there, huh? We're going to get into weather. Oh, by the way, the pressure has gone down to 2993. So let's update that. On the tablet, you can check all your charts, see where you are, see where you are in the route. See, this is the route we're going to follow. We're going to pass into the Chiba prefecture, go down upstairs and go down around the Bay of Tokyo, then do a bit of a circle over Odaiba, Shinagawa area, this the middle of Tokyo, around Shinjuku, probably around here, and then go down straight to Haneda Airport. The fact that you have a full tablet with charts, it's absolutely fantastic. We didn't have that in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It's been introduced in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And it helps a ton if you are on console, because we used to have to subscribe to Navigraph to have the charts, which is a monthly subscription service, and now it's not really necessary. I still do it because it's really good to have it, but it's not necessary. You have all your charts. Like if I want to check my landing charts at Haneda, I can go check my approach, and I have all the charts that I need. The charts are going to arrive at 16 Al. These are the stars, which is the routes in arrival, and this is my ILS at 16L, which will tell me exactly what I will need to do. I will need to climb a little bit before engaging the ILS because it's 4,000 feet. Theoretically, you need to be at 4,500 feet at Sandy as well. I mean, not theoretically. You're gonna be arrested if you're not, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it because I like to This is like a fun flight, and and I like to actually see the ground as well as possible. I want to give you a little bit of a good look at Tokyo. We'll see. Maybe we'll do 500, 4,500, and then climb and then descend to 4,000 for the ILS. We'll see. By the way, this is completely unscripted. You probably noticed that. Unlike other videos we have, I thought it would have been a good idea to do it this way so we can discover it together. As I would say, this kind of chart, you would do it like you would have to pay a subscription to have it for the whole world, and Microsoft Flight Simulator has them within the game, like by default. That's really a great help. So let's. And you have all your flight plan here. You could modify it, you could change approach, you could do a lot of things. A little bit into clouds, but we would not be supposed to be into clouds. Guess we can go down a little bit, because VFR, you're always supposed to be seeing the ground at all times. So let's go down to 2,000 feet. Vertical speed. Of course, we need to reduce our speed, our power, otherwise we're gonna overspeed. Let's see if we manage to stay under this big dark cloud, which is not very friendly, to be honest with you. And meanwhile, since we are at it, I guess we can already insert our minimum, which is 220. See, all this information you can find them in the charts, which you wouldn't if you didn't have the charts. This is the eastern part of Tokyo. Toward Chiba prefecture. I believe that in front of us is the area of Makuhari Messe, which is where a Tokyo Game Show is held. While on this side, around here, there should be Tokyo Disneyland, Disney Sea. Let me focus on piloting though. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna be a little bit in trouble if I don't. You aviate, navigate, and communicate. That's the order of things you have to do. So I wanted to insert my minimum. Arrow. $220. You would do this closer to the Oops. I actually put 210. There you go, 220. Yeah, speed is nice and stable. Yep, there is Mako Arimasu. Where you go for Tokyo Game Show. Photogrammetry looks nice. It's a little bit less detailed than on PC, I believe. But, I mean, nothing to say. It looks fantastic. But today is a little bit of a gloomy day. But it's good, that way you can see how it performs with all the clouds and everything. Look at the performance. I mean, we are in one of the most densely hacked areas of the Microsoft Flight Simulator world. And yet, it works fantastically. I have to say, really impressed. I had expectations, but this beats my expectations. I see there's still a little glitchy in the position of the moored ships. That's a glitch that exists in Flight Simulator, on PC as well. That's not unique to the PS5 version. Now we are in Chiba prefecture, over Chiba. And we are flying over the industrial area of Chiba. Just make sure that I was looking outside and my speed went a little low. Sorry, it's fine.
Cessna 29er Echo contact Tokyo approach on 119.1. Good day.
I'm being ended off.
119.1 for Cessna 29er Echo. Tokyo approach, Cessna Juliet Alpha Tree 29er Echo 2000.
Cessna Juliet Alpha Tree 29er Echo. Tokyo approach. Altimeter 29er90. Radar contact. Continue.
The atmospheric pressure changed a little bit. You need to continue to change it to what the ATC tells you, because that's what calibrates your altimeter. And if you can see that if I change it, this is my altitude. If I change it to something else, my altitude is gonna change. because my indicated altitude is gonna change. It's not that my real altitude is gonna change, because basically my altimeter is based. The reading of my altimeter is calibrated over the from the barometric pressure. So basically, the ATC tells me at all time what pressure is there, so I can calibrate my altimeter and make sure I don't run into the ground. I think we can climb again a little bit. The clouds are not too low where we are. So let's go back up to 3,000 feet. A little power. Flight level change. And keep my climbing speed to 100 knots. By the way, if you're warm, you can open the windows. Oh, it's winter, so probably not a good idea, but you know. It's nice that the sound actually changes when you're doing that. It's pretty realistic. So we're still flying over the industrial area of Chiba. You can change your map zoom here if you want to see a little bit farther away. A little bit more power. So we're gonna climb faster. As you can see, this looks really beautiful. Considering the precedents, the Xbox version was a little bit shaky, especially at launch, but it's still a little bit not fantastic at the moment. While the PS5 version really is great. I wonder if when Sim Update 4 launches, which should be at the same time as the PS5 version, the Xbox version is gonna look this good and stress-free, like problem-free. You can see there is a lot of solar panels here. A little bit of like cloudish, so I think we should probably stay at 1,000 for now. We tried, but we're gonna drop it to 2,000. Vertical speed. And nose down. 400 feet per second is good. Of course, remove power, so you don't overspeed. You always need to keep your speed. If you see here, you shouldn't go into the yellow, and you shouldn't go like too low as well, because you're gonna stall. You don't want to fall from the sky, of course. Should always be careful and be aware of what you're doing at all times. Flying is not completely brainless activity, you know? You just need to keep your situational awareness. In front of us, there's going to be some. There are some really nice beaches. Lots of people go there to for vacation on long vacation. The coastal area of Chiba is really nice. We've been flying for 42 minutes. Well, we've been recording for 42 minutes. We've been flying for less. It's going to be quite a long video. After all, flying is not something that is super fast. Okay, we are approaching our target altitude, so the air is gonna level off automatically, which means that I need to give some power, because if I don't, it will slow down so much. That it will sooner or later stall. And we're flying over a golf course. One of the things you will see a lot in Japan is golf courses. There are so many golf courses. You have no idea. If you're flying over Japan, you literally can't look in any direction and not see a golf course. It's funny, but that's how it is. Look at how good that those clouds look. Tell me this doesn't look fantastic, if you can. Tell me that you're not impressed. I am impressed. I am duly and truly impressed. There's a little bit of turbulence.
Cessna 29er Echo contact Tokyo. Approach on 125.2.
We are being ended out again. And over.
125.2 for Cessna 29er Echo. Tokyo approach, Cessna Juliet Alpha Tree 29er Echo 2000.
Okay, now we don't have clouds around us.
Echo. Tokyo approach. Altimeter 29990. Radar contact. Continue.
I don't know what happened there. Maybe a little bit of a glitch. We are definitely out of clouds. So I am going to climb 4,000 feet now.
Cessna 29er Echo contact Tokyo Center on 119er decimal tree 5. Good day.
Let's give it to 3,000 actually.
119er decimal tree 5 for Cessna 29er Echo.
100 knots and push the power a little bit. So we're gonna climb. We're going to reach the coast around, I believe, Izumi? Somewhere around there. And we're going to fly alongside the coast to the tip of the peninsula. I wonder if Nojima Zabaki Lighthouse, which is a pretty well-known landmark, is modeled in the simulator. We'll see, I suppose. When you change view, as you can see, it will take a little bit to load, but it's definitely not a problem. Just look at how far the trees go. Those are all individual model trees. Those are not like fake. Of course, they've LOD, but I mean, just look at this. This is picture perfect. And the next video is going to be more challenging, because now I'm flying a Cessna, but the next video I'm going to challenge the PS5 quite a lot, because one of the things that is problematic to do on consoles usually is flying a complex airliner, because it has the avionics are they put a lot more strain on the hardware. So I'm going to try and fly and do a full flight with the complex airliner. I haven't decided where yet, but I'm going to see if it works. And if it works without any problems at all, I will be 100% impressed by Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on PS5. Because the Cessna, as the Garmin G1000, is a pretty advanced avionics, but is definitely not as advanced as, say, the avionics of an Airbus A320 or A321. So I want to see if it works 100% without glitches. And we're reaching 3,000 feet. By the way, did it tell me a new barometer? I always fail to keep track of it. Oh, I haven't contacted. Ooh, sorry.
Tokyo Center, Cessna Juliet Alpha.
Should I contacted them?
29er Echo, 2900. Cessna Juliet Alpha, tree 29er Echo. Tokyo Center, altimeter 29er 88.
288 for the altimeter. Yeah, see, don't do this mistake. Always contact the next controller. Okay, I leveled off, so I need to reduce power a little bit. I can also reduce the mixture, I guess, a little bit. See, not very high, but low enough that we can reduce the mixture without losing power. Okay. Oh, the Garmin turned off again for some reason. I don't know why. That seems like a little bit of a glitchy. But it turns off. It turned off on again immediately, so that's fine. Now we're flying along the coast. I believe this must be Katsura and its port. It's a fishing port, and there is a pretty popular morning market here. People come to like buy fish and eat. As you can see, there is many beaches here. It's pretty neat. It's not a bad day. It was the weather was worse towards the interior, but here we can go pretty far. We can see pretty far. We can close the radio window for the moment. There are a lot of small fishing ports here. Actually, I believe I may have been wrong. That in front of us is Katsura. Recognizing these areas from above is not as it's not exactly the same thing as seeing them from below. Actually, no. I think this is Ubara. That before was Katsura. If I'm just botching these and not recognizing area, Japanese friends, please forgive me. It's not super easy. Oh, no, I know where I am now. That is Uchiura Beach. Right there. Between the mountains. So right there is Shirosaki Beach. And that big one is Kamogawa, which is one of the most popular destinations. They have a like really long beach, as you can see. That is it modeled or it's just a generic thing? That big building. Let me see. Can I use the big building there, which I don't believe is 100% modeled, but it's just a generic, is a Grand Hotel right in front of the beach. It's like massive, but yeah, it's not like modeled in detail, but it does have the similar dimensions, because this area here does not have photogrammetry. Not every part of the simulator has it. But we are going to soon be back into the photogrammetry area, which is a lot better looking.
Cessna 29er Echo contact Tokyo Center on 13.4.15.
They want to hand me over again.
Going to 13.4.15. Cessna 29er Echo.
Let's contact Tokyo Center.
Tokyo Center, Cessna Juliet Alpha, Tree 29er Echo, 3000. Cessna Juliet Alpha, Tree 29er Echo, Tokyo Center.
2988. I'm still fine with the altimeter.
Contact continue.
That on the left, on the right, sorry. Oh, let me just check my speed. Yeah, it's fine. That on the right is another super long beach. Wadura Beach, and I think that's Satohama? Satohama, something like that. I haven't been to all of these beaches, but been to a few. Not in the summer, because I don't go to Japan in the summer. Japan in the summer is a death trap. Super hot, super humid. You don't want to be there. Actually, some people will call me crazy. Best time to go to Japan is between January and February. It's a bit cold, but it's low season, so the prices are down, like very much down, both the flights and the hotels. And it's actually the driest time of the year, so that means that it's going to be sunny most of the time. And since the air is so dry, the vistas, the viewing distance is very long. You can see very far. Like, it's the best time to see Mount Fuji. January and February are the times in which I got the best pictures of Mount Fuji that I ever got. You don't get the sakura, you don't get the cherry blossoms, but if you go on in March, in April, when the cherry blossoms are out, you're going to spend a lot more because it's high season. In fact, I'm going back to Japan on January, around January 15th, and I'm gonna stay a month again. do some work, do some interviews, some stuff I can talk about. Front of us, I believe. I'm actually not sure what the name of this beach is. I don't know them all. What do you think? I know my way around a little bit, but I'm still a gaijin. Let's make sure our speed is still okay. We're a bit fast. Just a tiny bit. Actually, the lighthouse I was talking about should be around this direction, but I don't see it modeled. It's right behind the struts. No, I don't see it. I would see it from farther away if it was there. Okay. Lower the speed a little too much. You always need to nurse the speed in this kind of aircraft that doesn't have an auto throttle. And now we are about to turn inland again. We're going to cross the Bay of Tokyo. Say bye-bye to Chiba's beautiful beaches. Well, there are still some on this side of the peninsula, but they're not as famous. This is Tateyama. We're flying over Tateyama. It does have a nice beach. And in front of us, right that peninsula there, is Cape Taibusa, which has a pretty famous nature park. Excuse me. In front of us, there should be a mount. There it is. This area is pretty popular among hikers because there's some pretty good mountains to hike it with some nice paths. I believe it's not this, but a bit further is Mount Nokogiri, which I hiked at. And on the other side of the bay also there are some really nice hiking places. Mount Fuji will be there. From here, from the beaches here, you can actually see Mount Fuji pretty nicely. But now we have clouds, so no Mount Fuji today, sorry. Just make sure the speed is fine. Yep. We're going to cross the bay straight into Tokyo. It's funny because a little bit of an anecdote. You saw with that we went by the place where Tokyo Game Show is. Oh, sorry. We are being ended out. I will tell you after I do this.
125.8, Cessna 29er Echo. Tokyo approach.
If you wanted, you could actually tune the radio
Echo 3000.
in your Garmin.
Cessna Juliet Alpha Tree 29er Echo. Tokyo approach. Altimeter 2.
But doing it is it's easier from here. Like
Cessna 29er 119er decimal 1 for Cessna 29er Echo.
oh, they want me to me away again. See, if I wanted to go at, let me show you. See, this is my comm radio. And I need to go to 119.100. So I change frequency with this. This is the active frequency, this is the inactive frequency. So you change the inactive one. So 119. E. The mouse on PS5 is a little bit janky. Decimal 100. I should have just rolled it up and not down. Oh well. Decimal 100. This is how you would do it in real life, of course, because you don't have a little menu. It makes it easy. Oh. Come on. There you go, and then you make it active by swapping it. See, now I can contact Tokyo Approach because I am in the right frequency.
Tokyo approach. Cessna Juliet Alpha Tree 29er Echo 3000.
Cessna Juliet Alpha Tree 29er Echo.
And now the
Tokyo approach.
altimeter
Altimeter
went down
29er. Radar
to
contact.
89er.
Continue.
There you go. I was saying, we flew over the Makuhari Messe, which is where Tokyo Game Show is. And the funny thing is that it's not in Tokyo. It's in Chiba, which is actually a different prefecture. It's not even Tokyo Prefecture. is Chiba Prefecture, which is the bordering prefecture of Tokyo. It's still kind of considered part of the greater Tokyo Metropolitan Area, but it's not really Tokyo. Of course, if they called it Chiba Game Show, probably wouldn't be as good marketing wise. But yeah. I believe this was the Port Kanaya. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was. And straight right there is Mount Nokogiri, the one that I was talking about earlier. And now we're going to fly straight to Tokyo, across the bay. On the other side, this is another pretty popular holiday destination. And if you look, you can see right there in front of us, around here, there is another long beach, which I don't remember the name exactly right now, but it's pretty popular. That is, by the way, Kamakura Prefecture, which is on the other side. Like Tokyo has Kamakura Prefecture on the toward the west, and Chiba Prefecture toward the east. And around here, you can just about see it. There is Yokosuka, a famous port city. And down there is Yokohama. I actually don't remember if I got us to fly over Yokohama, but not exactly. We're going to fly close to Yokohama. That is the Yokohama Landmark Tower, which is nicely modeled. I went up there a couple of times on dates. To our left is Yokosuka now, with sport. This island right in front of us, there used to be a fort, and in the other island there used to be a gun battery to defend the entrance of Tokyo Bay. And right behind the island is Yokosuka. And right there is Yokohama. You can see it pretty easily from the landmark tower right there. And in front of us, there is Tokyo. We are right at the bottom of the cloud. We should be fine though. As long as we keep visual contact with the ground, we're fine. You can see it right there. Yokohama Bay Bridge. Too bad the weather isn't great here. Kind of spoiling the views. I could change it, but that wouldn't be very realistic, would it? And also it's nice for you to see all the kind of clouds and how it looks like. Just look at how, if you look here and here, you can see just how different it is where the clouds let the sun pass by and where there is shadow. It's fully modeled and really nice. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Just how just look at how the visibility changes. When you get a little bit of an opening through the clouds. This looks phenomenal, honestly. I did not expect the PS5 version to look this good. I will be completely 100% honest with you. I did not. Okay. We have the industrial area of Yokohama here. And just through the clouds here, you can see Minato Mirai, which is basically one of the most modern areas of Yokohama. It's where they do all the Final Fantasy concerts. And when the landmark tower is, just it's a little covered by the clouds right now. Here there is a industrial area that at night has really nice lights. Right there, you see it just a little bit, I believe. That's the Tower of Wind. And if you're wondering what it is exactly what it says it is. It's an air vent, because there is a giant tunnel connecting Chiba prefecture to Tokyo, going under the sea, and that tower is an air vent for that tunnel. The tunnel comes out there, right there. And if you look right there, is a Haneda Airport. We're going to do a little bit of a round, fly around, and I want to see Tokyo better though. I'm doing something really illegal. I should not go down. I should not fly lower here. I'm actually under where I should be. But I want to show you Tokyo. So let's lower a little bit. Let's go down. Vertical speed minus 500. And let's pull in the mixture since air is going to be thicker. Oh, come on. What is all these clouds? Don't be lame, weather. Okay. So that's Tokyo Haneda Airport. In front of us, right here, there is a very unknown area that you can be right here. There is a panoramic terrace where you can go and take pictures straight of the landing. People go to on the panoramic terraces at the airport, but actually if you go where my mouse here, you can get out from the train here at the terminal, I believe, what? I remember the number. But then you go out here, you leave the train, and then you walk along these, and you get right here, and you can just look at the planes coming down and taking off right in front of you. It's the best plane spotting location in Tokyo. And very few people know it. There is almost no one. Because it's new. I believe it opened in like April or May. April or May 2025. It's called Soramnado Haneda Green Space. So if you follow the indications for that, you'll find it easily. Okay, good. The clouds cleared a little bit. So we get to see Tokyo. In front of us there is Odaiba, Skytree. Here there is Odaiba's Gundam. In front of the mall. Right here there is Shinagawa, where a lot of game developers are located. So let me see the speed. Yeah, I knew it. Going low. Okay, sorry. I wanted to make sure I didn't stall. Aviate, navigate, communicate. Oops. See. Tokyo is really beautiful from here. That's Tokyo Rainbow Bridge. If it was night, you would see it illuminated. The Gundam is around here, I believe, in front of Diversity. It's a bit far to spot it. Should be around here. And now we're flying over Tokyo Tower, right there. Nice and modeled. Here is Shinagawa Station. As you can imagine, I am much lower than I should be. Whatever. I'm just showing you around. If you want some geek pleasures, Akihabara is on this side. Well, Shinjuku is here. Oop. The mouse is... Shinjuku's around here. I should actually maneuver the camera with my controller because it's much more precise than the mouse. Mouse is a little... Let me control the camera. That big green patch here is Yoyogi Park. It's beautiful and awesome for picnics. And we are flying straight in on top of the Imperial Palace. Right here. And this is the Diet, where the government resides. Down there is Ikebukuro. And now, though, I should probably just look at the level of detail here. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This looks almost as good as on PC. And this is all downloaded from the web. This is not residing on my drive. It's great since I have a this is basic. By the way, this is a basic PS5. This is not a PS5 Pro. And I have the 800 something gigabytes drive, so the fact that I don't have to install a massive amount of data also helps. We are in Suidobashi, and this is Tokyo. Sorry. Oh my god. Brain fart. But the Budokan he is. Anyway, I should probably prepare for landing because I am getting close. Okay, I should go up to 4,500. Level change. And it is time to prepare for our approach. Sorry, I didn't mean Budokan. I mean Tokyo Dome. Yeah, you get it. It's where the Final Fantasy Fan Fest, the latest Final Fantasy Fan Fest was. Let's give it a little more power. So we can climb to 4,500. We should have been there already. Oops.
Cessna 29er Echo contact Yokota. Approach on 1
Yokota? What?
decimal tree.
Why am I in Tokyo? They asked me to go to Yokota approach. Oh well.
118 decimal tree. Cessna.
Not gonna do it manually right now.
Yokota approach. Cessna Juliet Alpha tree 29er Echo 2600.
Cessna Juliet Alpha Tree 29er Echo. Yokota approach. Altimeter 29er.
Altimeter still good.
Radar contact continue.
Let's take a look at Tokyo before we get into our approach. And we're in the clear again for a little bit. Okay, very close to our final turn. Well, not final, it's the second to final. We're established at 4,000 and we are doing our turn. Lose a little bit of speed. Turn on landing lights, taxi lights. Drop a bit of flaps. Too much. Next turn at Lorry, we'll be able to turn on our approach mode. Now we'll go home. Haneda is right there. Okay. Then we will intercept the glide slope at Lycos. By the way, before you try to land, if you have the OTA Steel Flight, the Trustmaster one, Flight 4, I would definitely calibrate it because it's very wobbly on its own. Give it a little bit of dead zone and quite a bit of lower sensitivity, because otherwise you're gonna be in trouble. I don't know if, honestly, experiment, because I don't know if that's because it's mine, it's old, or because it's how it is. I bought it to play Ice Combat 7, so it's several years old. Okay, we are on our last turn, and we can activate approach mode. You see this diamond here? We are intercepting the localizer, which is what this blinking. Now it's intercepted. The glide slope is coming. That's this diamond here. We are going to intercept the localizer at Lycos. Sorry, the glide slope at Lycos. The go around altitude is 4,000, so I don't need to change it. Mixture is maximum, okay. And put down full flaps. Glide slope is intercepting. You can see GS here blinking. It is intercepted. When it stops blinking, it means it's locked. Pretty much at Lycos. Good one. Now, in fact, the aircraft is lowering its nose on its own. It's following the ILS. And we need to drop speed a little bit. The final approach speed is about 65. So we should endeavor to keep it there. There you go. A little bit of clouds. We can't see the airport just yet, but we will. Is the minimum still in? Yes, it is. Should appear soon. Bit more power to state 165. Much. Yeah, the throttle isn't very precise either, just so you know. There's a slight bit of turbulence, but we're going down nicely. Okay, let's check. Flaps are configured, lights on. Mixers is in. Localizers and glide slope are captured. Speed is okay. Now let's see. By the way, if I screw this up, I have an excuse. Normally I'm used to land with rudder pedal, which make things a lot more natural. There is no rudder pedal for PS5, so I need to use the twist to the stick, which I haven't done in about 5 years. So good luck to me. If I screw up the landing, that is why. There's Tokyo Dome in the distance. A nice in glide slope. Should be able to see the airport soon. If we reach our minimum altitude, which is right there now, and we don't see the airport, we need to go around, which would suck. Diet building right there. Yeah, I'm still doing sightseeing while landing. Okay. Airport should come in sight really soon. Yeah, I can see the poppy lights right there. They're appearing. Don't let the speed run away from me. Yeah. It's too white and too red. They're kind of difficult to see with the cloud still, but they're there. The poppy lights mean if you have 2 lights and 2 red, you're perfectly in glide slope. If you have 3 red and 1 white, you're too low, a little bit too low. If you have 4 red, you're way too low. If you have 3 whites and 1 red, you're too high, a little bit too high. If you have 4 whites and 0 red, then you're way too high. Normally, if you fly in an airliner, as a rule, if you have 4 lights of the same color, you will go around. But with this kind of plane, it's a little different because in an airport like Haneda, the PAPI are calibrated for airliners that are much higher. The cockpit is much higher than this. So when I get close, I'll probably go into the 4 red, but that's not a problem. So far, so good. Odaiba there. It's Gundam and it's malls and it's shopping. Speed a little high. Mind you, 70 would still be fine, but I prefer to keep it on 65. Rainbow Bridge, right there, which you take to go to Odaiba. It's a beautiful bridge. It has a really nice lighting at night. My God, my voice is kind of gone. I've been speaking too long, talking like a madman. You can see the Tower of the Wind right there, the one we talked about before, with the exit of the tunnel right here. Nice. Of course, speed is going to oscillate a little bit since there is no auto throttle, and that's just because of buffeting and turbulence and whatnot. Bit low. Correct. The goal is to keep your speed as smooth as possible. To avoid the autopilot to have to correct with the pitch. Okay. See, now it's going to 3 white and it'll change again, but now I think it's time to take the autopilot off and finish the landing on my own. There is a tiny bit of turbulence, but it's not too bad. Not a tiny bit, it's quite a bit. Quite a bit of crosswind. It really wants to push me off. And normally you would compensate the crosswind with the pedals. I don't have pedals, which sucks. I want my pedals. Why there are no pedals for PS5? Hopefully someone, if the sim is successful on PS5, hopefully someone will make better peripherals for the console.
500.
Because having pedals is completely different experience. Twisting the stick isn't great. Oh, big crosswind. Oh, okay. It really wants to get it off course. Okay, we're fine. See, now that we're close, it went to 4 reds, but at this point, you disregard the puppies, and you just aim for the landing zone, which is these 2 big stripes, 2 big white stripes right there. Oh, there is an airliner taking off. The traffic is just doing its thing. Usually I would have to go around. I don't care. Just gonna put this down.
All Nippon 1072. Contact ground on 121.7.
See, no pedals. That's what happens. Ah,
Cessna Juliet Alpha Tree 29.
no pedals.
Tokyo Tower.
It really wants to go out of the
Make left traffic
runway.
16.
I managed to keep it in.
Cessna 29er Echo. You are not clear to land.
Yeah, I know I'm not going to land. I don't care. That's what happens when you're not using
Going to 121.7.
your
All Nippon 1072.
tools. My goodness. Well, we managed to put it down.
Cessna 29er Echo. You are not clear to land.
Any landing you can walk away from, it's a good landing.
Cessna 29er Echo. Contact ground on 122.075. 122.075. Cessna 29er Echo.
Flaps. And we're just going to taxi out. We made it. The landing was a little bit eventful, but we walked away from it, so that's fine. I'll do better next time. I really need to get used to this stick twisting stuff. So this is it. This is the PS5 version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And I'm impressed, I have to say. But the true test will be the next flight I'm gonna do. It's going to be an airliner flight. Probably going to take an A321 Neo and see where it brings us. But yeah, I think we can pretty much stop here for today, for this flight. So I'll see you in the next video. And that's it for our first video showcasing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on PS5. Stay tuned, because the next will be a much tougher challenge for Sony's console, as we'll try a full flight with an airliner that is on a whole different level of complexity compared to a Cessna. As a consequence, it also applies considerably more stress on the hardware. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe, and if you so wish, leave your feedback in the comments. Your input and support are always highly appreciated. As always, thank you very much for your time and attention. We hope to see you again soon here on Simulation Daily's YouTube channel and on the site, because our flight simulation news coverage never stops.